Hello everyone, Archana is here. Welcome to the sixth session of presentation ICSE Class 9 Paper 2 Literature in English. In today's session, let us continue the prose A Horse and Two Goats written by R.K. Narayan. Before we continue the session, let us recapitulate what we have learned in the previous class. A short story, A Horse and Two Goats by R.K. Narayan is set in a fictional small Tamil village named Kritham, where the protagonist of the story, Muni, lives. The village consists of less than 30 houses, mostly made of bamboo thatch, straw and mud. Only one house, called the Big House, the house of the village chief, is made of brick and cement. Once upon a time, Muni owned a herd of 40 sheep and goats, but it is now reduced to just 2 goats. On the day of the story, Muni takes his usual breakfast of a handful of millet flour and then shakes down drumsticks from the tree in front of his house. When Muni expresses his wife for a drumstick sauce, his wife asks him to bring groceries like dal, spices, oil, and potato. He goes to the village shop and makes all efforts to get these things in credit, but fails. He comes back home to be humiliated further by his wife and takes the 2 goats and goes to a place in the outskirts of the village beside the highway to graze his goats. Muni sits under the clay horse statue where he usually sits to protect himself from the sun and watches the trucks. So, after that, what happened? As Muni watches the road and waits for an appropriate time to head home, he notices a new sort of yellow vehicle that looked like both motor car and bus coming down the road and pulling over. Muni, one who was seated on the pedestal of the statue, was shocked to see the vehicle. And there he saw a red faced foreigner in khaki clothes. So, after seeing him, Muni was a bit nervous. Why? So, he saw a foreigner in khaki clothes gets down from the car and asks Muni if there is a gas station nearby. So, by looking at this man, Muni was quite nervous. Why? Because in the conversation that Muni had with his wife in the morning, she had informed him that someone was murdered and the body was found at the border between Kritham and the neighboring village Kuppam. She also informed Muni that the police might be on their rounds investigating the crime. However, the foreigner who got down from the motor car was fascinated by the grandeur of the horse. Muni was scared and thought that he must get up and run away. He thought that the foreigner was a policeman as he was dressed in khaki. Muni thought that he would be shot down if he ran away. Therefore, he sat frozen and then greeted the foreigner. Muni and the foreigner then started their conversation. However, Muni's vocabulary in English comprised only 2 words. They are yes and no. So the foreigner, on the other hand, did not understand Tamil. So the foreigner then lights a cigarette and offered one to Muni, informing him that he hailed from New York. Muni took his offer and took a deep puff. He was smoking after a very long time, therefore, he started coughing. He gave Muni his business card, which Muni thought it is an arrest warrant. So his mind alerted him to be careful of the khaki. In order to prove his innocence, Muni started to give a long explanation regarding the crime that he thought the foreigner was investigating. Muni also mentioned the name of the neighboring village, Kuppam, saying that the murderer is certainly from that village. The foreigner is unable to understand Muni, yet he nods his head. He asks Muni about the horse. In response, Muni asks him to leave, assures him that the murderer will be punished surely and that he has to be from the other village. The foreigner understands that he and Muni are not on the same page regarding the conversation. He thinks that everyone in India speaks and understands English. Muni is still unable to comprehend his words. The foreigner continues to mention the hurdles he had in his work. He also speaks about a bad day he had at work, how he was stuck for 4 hours without elevators and air conditioning due to a power failure. He came to India with his wife Ruth, who was staying back in Srinagar. In response to this information, Muni replied, yes, no, understanding nothing. The two men go on talking but don't seem to understand each other. Muni remembers his childhood when he had worked in the field till morning. He belonged to the low caste, so he was not sent to school. Meanwhile, the American thought it would have been better if there was somebody to translate for him as he was interested in the horse. He had seen many Indian sellers sitting in front of their shops and goods, just how Muni was sitting at the pedestal of the statue of the horse. So he concluded that he was the owner of the statue. Muni kept mentioning about his childhood and ancestors being happy, such that the subject about the murder was diverted. The American liked the way Muni spoke, thinking he was giving him a sales talk about the statue. Muni also explains the principles of Hinduism and the reincarnation of Kalki when discussing the statue of the horse to the foreigner. The foreigner praised the portrayal of art in the horse statue and assured Muni that he will keep the statue with utmost care in the living room of his house in the USA. The American makes an offer for the horse. He also describes how he would take it to his place. There is a very humorous moment when Muni asks the foreigner how many children he has, and the foreigner replies saying 100. This is a very simple yet effective use of the language, better in comedy. Muni continues to inquire about his children and is glad that he could have a conversation with the foreigner. Finally, the American shows 100 rupee note and Muni laughs at himself, thinking that the man is asking him for change. Muni says that he could get it from the village headman as he is a moneylender. But as soon as the foreigner shows some interest in his goats, Muni feels that his dream to build a small shop is fulfilled. He thinks that the American intends to buy his goats with the money. In the end, the American believed he had bought the statue of the horse, whereas Muni thought he had got rid and sold his goats. Muni came home to present the money to his wife and told her that he had sold the goats to a foreigner. On the other hand, the foreigner, with the help of a couple of men, detached the horse statue from its pedestal and placed it in his station wagon. Muni's wife was suspicious of him, thinking he had stolen the money. He tried to explain to her that he has actually sold the goats, but the goats followed Muni back home. Muni shouted at the goats, saying that they belonged to the foreigner and that they should have gone with him. However, Muni's wife doesn't believe Muni and remarks that the police will arrive and break his bones. This is a simple tale involving the clash of cultures, wealth, and poverty, illustrated in a comical way. So, students, here we have winded up the prose. Let us conclude the prose. Muni sits under the clay horse statue where he usually sits to protect himself from the sun and watches the trucks. That day he sees a yellow station wagon approaching. The wagon comes and stops in front of the statue. A red faced American dressed in khaki gets out of the wagon and asks in English about the nearest gas station. As the American notices the horse statue, he gets fascinated by it and starts a discussion with Muni. He offers Muni cigarettes and carries on with the funny conversation where the two of them do not understand each other. Muni is speaking in Tamil and the American in English. First, Muni assumes the American to be a policeman or a soldier and tries to defend himself by saying that he is not involved in the crime that has happened in the nearby village. Then, as he finds the American to be friendly by his gestures, he carries on telling his story. Muni ends up telling the story that the stranger how cheetahs or jackals sometimes carry their cattle off. He also tells him that he never went to school, as in those days only Brahmins went to schools. He narrates how the temple priest can see in the camphor flame the face of the thief, and how at the end of the Kalki, that is Kali Yuga, the world will be destroyed and the clay horse will come to life and trample down all bad men. Muni also expresses his grudge for the village chief who has gathered a lot of money. The American also tells his own story of he being a businessman dealing in coffee and how one day he was forced to work for 4 hours in his office when there was no electricity or elevators, etc. This incident made him curious to look at other civilizations. So, he has come to India to see how people live here. He further adds that his wife has stayed back in Srinagar. Thinking Muni to be the owner of the horse statue, the American offers a 100 rupee note to buy it. Realizing that some financial element has entered the talk, Muni thinks that the man wants to buy his goats. In fact, he has always dreamt of selling his goats at a good price and setting up a small shop with the money someday. Muni is happy that he has sold his goat for 100 rupees, and the American is happy that he has bought the horse statue. Muni comes home to show the money to his wife. She does not believe that he has sold the goats for such a hefty price. She accuses Muni of theft. Her belief of Muni stealing the money gets even stronger when the two goats return home just afterwards. So here the story ends up. So humor in the story. R.K. Narayan, in his short story A Horse and Two Goats, has addressed many important social issues through the use of humor instead of seriousness. Using the simplest of settings, Narayan has crafted a sensitive yet amusing story, rich in situational comedy. So the title of the story, that is A Horse and Two Goats, it draws attention. So it seems like the horse was also a pet of Muni, just like the two goats. But actually, it was a clay horse statue. It didn't even belong to Muni, but due to the miscommunication, it happened so that the American bought the horse statue from Muni, thinking him to be the owner. So, the horse statue served Muni more than his goats. Again, it was the horse statue which the man wanted to buy, but Muni thought that he was selling his goats. So, the most amusing part of the story lies there in the confusion between the horse and the goats. So, from both the angles, the title serves the purpose well. The story is narrated in the third person narrative technique where narration and dialogues are well proportioned. The characterization of Muni, his wife, and the American has been great. R.K. Narayan has spent just about the right amount of words on each of the important characters. So, to speak about the themes of the story, so the East and the West, that is the theme of poverty and wealth. And finally, the theme of knowledge and wisdom. Moreover, it has been a vivid portrayal of rural life in India with hunger and poverty, social classes and caste system, prejudices and superstitions. Thank you, students.